National Startup Day 2026 represents a significant chapter in India's economic and innovation journey, with this year marking 10 years of the Startup India initiative. It was launched to transform India into a nation of job creators. The initiative has reshaped entrepreneurship across urban and rural regions. National Startup Day is observed to celebrate this transformation, acknowledge entrepreneurial contribution, and reinforce India's commitment to innovation-led, inclusive, and sustainable growth aligned with the long-term vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047. National Startup Day 2026. National Startup Day 2026 is observed on 16 January this year, commemorate a decade of the Startup India initiative launched in 2016. The day celebrates India's rapidly expanding startup ecosystem, which has crossed 2 lakh DPIIT recognized startups spread across technology, manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, education, clean energy, and digital services. The 2026 observance highlights India's global position as one of the world's largest startup ecosystems, driven by youth participation, digital infrastructure, and government-backed innovation support systems. National Startup Day 2026 historical background. The historical evolution of the National Startup Day 2026 has been listed below. Origin. The Startup India initiative launched on 16 January 2016 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to promote entrepreneurship and innovation. Startup India launch context. The initiative was introduced under DPIIT to address regulatory complexity, limited funding access, and weak institutional support faced by early stage entrepreneurs in India. National Startup Day Declaration. January 16 was officially designated as National Startup Day in 2022 to provide national recognition to entrepreneurs and innovators. 10-year milestone. The 2026 observance marks completion of a decade, reflecting sustained policy continuity and ecosystem maturity. National Startup Day 2026 theme. The theme for National Startup Day 2026 has not been announced yet officially, although the theme is expected to focus on celebrating a decade of achievement while setting direction for the next phase of innovation-led growth. The focus for the 2026 event is placed on emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, deep tech, climate tech, and digital manufacturing. It reinforces participation of women entrepreneurs, with 48% recognized startups having at least one women director. National Startup Day 2026 objectives. National Startup Day 2026 aims to reflect on achievements, strengthen collaboration, and outline priorities for India's future startup ecosystem. Recognizing contributions acknowledges startups as contributors to economic growth, innovation capacity, and domestic value chain strengthening. Encouraging youth entrepreneurship reinforces the shift from job seekers to job creators, especially among India's large youth population. Policy continuity assurance reaffirms government commitment to regulatory reforms, funding support, and ease of doing business. Ecosystem collaboration brings together startups, investors, incubators, corporates, academia, and policymakers on a common platform. Technology adoption encourages adoption of frontier technologies to enhance productivity and competitiveness. Long-term vision alignment aligns startup development with the national goal of Viksit Bharat at 2047. National Startup Day 2026 observation. National Startup Day 2026 is observed through national level events, stakeholder interaction, and public recognition of startup achievements. Official date observed annually on 16 January, commemorating the launch date of Startup India 2016. Prime Minister participation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in the 2026 program at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. Stakeholder interaction. The Prime Minister interacts with founders, investors, and ecosystem enablers from across India. Startup experience sharing. Select startup representatives share real-world insights from their entrepreneurial journeys. National address. The Prime Minister addresses the gathering, outlining achievements and future priorities of Startup India. Live streaming. Events are live streamed to ensure nationwide participation and accessibility. Public awareness, media coverage, and digital campaigns highlight startup success stories and policy milestones. Ecosystem recognition recognizes incubators, investors, and institutions contributing to startup growth. National Startup Day 2026 significance. National Startup Day 2026 holds long-term economic, social and strategic significance for India's development trajectory. Ecosystem scale over 2 lakh DPIIT recognized startups highlight the scale and maturity of India's innovation ecosystem. Capital support more than 27,000 crore mobilized through Startup India funding mechanism strengthen early stage ventures. Incubation infrastructure 244 seed funded incubators support ideation, mentoring and early commercialization. Digital platforms over 6.6 lakh users are registered on Bhaskar, strengthening startup discovery and networking. Government procurement startups received orders worth over rupee 51,000 crore through the government e-marketplace platform. Regulatory reforms. Implementation of 63 regulatory reforms reduce compliance burden and improve ease of doing businesses. Women participation. Nearly half of recognized startups include women directors, promoting gender-inclusive entrepreneurship. Geographical inclusion. Presence of startup policies in 32 states and union territories ensure nationwide ecosystem coverage. Employment impact. Startups serve as significant employment generators across technology, manufacturing and service sectors. National vision contribution. Strengthen India's journey towards a self-reliant, innovation-driven and globally competitive economy.